Hey guys, okay, so today what you guys are going to do is we're going to start with homework review of checkpoint 2 for the Orange Belt. Now I know some of us aren't there. I know Alex and Will have to write their advancement, which you're going to do today. Anyone that has to, I don't know, I'm not quite sure if there's anyone left, but anyone that has to write advancement 2 is also going to do this today, but everyone is going to pay attention to this first, and it's not going to take that long. And then any advancements that you need to write, you're going to write. Before we start, everyone put them up. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully someone did something. Alright, so we're ready to begin. The first thing we need to look at is the questions. Number 4, they say expand right here, okay? Now, a lot of us were getting confused here because the 3 was on the right-hand side and we're more familiar with having it on the left-hand side, okay? But it's the same thing. So if it's on the right-hand side, although it's not proper notation, we still perform the multiplication. So you still will go 3 times x and then 3 times 2. So for A, 3 times x is just going to be 3x plus 3 times 2 is just 6. And that's it. That's all they're asking you to do. There's no solving. That's as far as you go. Okay? So if we're going to do G, alright, K is on the right hand side. We don't like to look at that like that, but it's okay. We're still doing the exact same operation. So K times K is just K squared. And K times 7 is just 7K. And remember, it's not K7 because that is not proper algebraic notation. Okay? So if we scroll down a bit, this is number 6. Okay? Number 6 was expand and simplify. Okay? Expand and simplify. So here, just the coefficient, you're multiplying through. So if we do P, 9y times x will be what? 9yx, right? 9yx. What do we do to this? We add the opposite because we want to make sure that we know that that's a negative z. Okay, I know you can't really see it. I didn't really do it that well there. But it's negative z. So 9y times negative z plus 9yz, but more importantly, it's negative because we have the negative z there. And 9y times p is just 9yp. Okay? So those questions I weren't worried too much. I'm not going over all 9 of these. Okay? I'm only going to do that one. If you have any questions, please ask someone that's ahead. I know Rob and Spearings and Shang and Helen and Shana and Ben have been working on the Orange Belt since last class, so there's quite a few people that are ahead that are able to help you. But the questions that I did want to go over were ones like these: the expand, then simplify, combining like terms. Okay? Like I said, I'm still only going to do like one of them, but I want to make sure that you guys see what this part means. Okay? Expand. This is all we're doing, right? We're doing the distributive law. We're taking that coefficient, which here the coefficient is x, here the coefficient is 2x, and we're distributing by multiplying by each term inside the brackets. Okay? So for example, for G, it's going to be x squared plus 3xy plus 2x squared plus 2xy. Okay? Now, we got to simplify by collecting like terms. Now remember, just because it has an x doesn't mean it's a like term. Both of these terms, the 3xy and the 2x squared, have x's, but they're not like. Okay? 2x squared is like with x squared because they both have x squared. And if you have one of something and you have 2 more of somethings, how many somethings do you have? You have 3 of them. Alright? xy is the exact same as xy. All right? And if this happened to have been in improper algebraic notation and was yx, they're still the exact same. Okay? How many of them do we have? Well, we have 3 of them here. We have 3 of them here. Therefore, we have a total of 5. And that's your simplified form. Okay? That's as far as you can go. All right? Now, just like the last questions, if there's other questions in here, and we did stuff like this in the yellow belt, but if there's other questions in here that you think you need help with, please ask somebody, okay? Today's lesson for the orange belt is going to be this right here, okay? The product A plus B multiplied by C plus D, okay? Now this isn't too bad as long as we all understand the distributive law, okay? We understand the distributive law, we can understand this relatively easily, all right? The first part, so if I'm looking at A, x plus y multiplied by p plus q. The distributive law says we need to multiply everything in here, or everything that's in front of the first bracket, by everything that's in here, okay? But it's tricky. Why is it tricky? Because we now have, instead of just having one thing in front, we now technically have 2, all right? But all you need to do is make sure that you multiply everything in here by the y. So we go here, and then we go here, and then we got to make sure that we multiply everything in here by the x as well. So we have to go here, and we have to go here. All right, and let's see how that looks. Now there's a word for this, okay? FOIL. I'm going to write it like this because I'm going to write what it means beside it. So I'm going to rewrite this question just so it's a little neater. Okay, so we have 2 bracketed sequences. I want to multiply the first letter in the first bracket by the first letter in the second bracket. So x multiplied by p. And that's called first. Because all we're doing is we're multiplying both first letters or numbers or terms. It's what I should use. Both terms together. So x times p is just going to be xp. Okay? And then I'm going to multiply the ends or the outer letters or terms, okay? And in this case, it's, let me just erase this up top. And in this case, it's going to be the x and the q. So I'm going to go multiply these outer terms together. So x times q, and that's just what it is. It's the outer terms. And x times q is x q plus. Well, now I'm going to multiply. See, I multiplied everything in here by this x, the x value, okay? But what I need to do now is I need to do the exact same thing for the y value. So I'm now going to multiply this by this, or the 2 inner terms. I'm going to multiply them together. And y times p is just going to be y p, because you have to go to the bathroom. That's why we p. Plus, well, what is the last? Well, this is the last term in this bracket. This is the last term. Sorry, this is the last term in this bracket. This is the last term in that bracket. So, and then the last 2 terms are going to multiply together. So y cubed. And y times q is just y Q. And those are the two last terms in each bracket. So if we did another quick example, all right, and that's our final answer, because if you look, we expanded. This is expanded. Okay, it's called expanding by FOIL. Okay, we expanded our two bracketed sequences. We have a final answer. We always look to see if we can simplify. We look. We notice that no, we can't simplify it because that's an XP. Can't simplify with any of these variables. Sorry, these terms, because the variables are different. XQ, there's only one of those. YP, because we have to go to the bathroom. And YQ, well, that's just YQ. We don't have any other ones of those either. So we're done. That's simplified. Let's do one more quick example. Now if we had 2x minus 3 plus x, or sorry, multiplied by x plus 2. We make sure we use FOIL, okay? Now the first thing that we do, my class, okay, is wherever we see a subtraction, we change it. So we're gonna go add the opposite. The reason why we do that is because we want to make sure that when we put in our solution after we expand, we're only going to have to use addition, and we clearly see what sign each number has. So we clearly see that that's a -3, not a +3. Okay? So now we're going to do first 2 times x, 2x plus O, or OTER. 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus I, or inner. So I got -3 and x. -3x plus L, or last. So 3 is the last, -3 is the last here. 2 is the last there. That's what I'm going to multiply by. -3 multiplied by 2 is -6. All right? And now we can do something with this. What do we know about this? Because we always expand and we simplify. Okay? So we can simplify here. So if you look, I have x's and I have more x's. I have a constant and I have another constant. So let's combine like terms. 2x plus -3x is just going to be -x plus 4 plus -6 is just going to be -2. And that's as far as we can go. We put a box around our final answer and then we're done. Okay? So that is expansion, a plus b multiplied by c plus d, whatever those variables happen to be. You use FOIL. You're going to practice this right now. Everyone today, no matter if you write advancement number 2 or you're on advancement number 1 for the yellow belt, everyone is going to get an orange belt packet today. So if this up, thank you for being there, taking care of my lovely grade 7s today. But if you could make sure that everyone gets, and they're on my desk, everyone gets an orange belt packet, that'd be great. So if you don't have it, make sure you approach them to get it. And other than that, there's going to be no homework over the long weekend. You are working towards checkpoint 9. Okay? You're working towards, sorry. Yes, checkpoint 9. You're working towards checkpoint 9 in the orange belt. Now, a lot of us aren't going to get there, but that's okay. All right? Have a safe long weekend. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Peace out.